All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are taking a really deep dive into a tech accessory that has been absolutely dominating the conversation lately, the Anker 3-in-1 Cube with MagSafe. We're going to strip away all that flashy marketing fluff and look directly at the raw specs, the real-world performance, and the hard customer data. We want to answer one very simple question for you. Does this sleek little cube actually live up to the massive hype, or is it literally just a very heavy, very expensive paperweight? So, are you completely tired of lugging around 3 different chargers for your Apple gear? Let's be real, we have all been there. You're packing for a quick weekend getaway, and suddenly you're wrestling with this chaotic, tangled mess of cables. You've got the cable for your iPhone, that one specific little magnetic puck for your Apple Watch, yet another cord for your AirPods, and then you need enough power bricks to plug the whole shebang in. It's a super frustrating reality if you're deeply entrenched in the Apple ecosystem, right? It just completely defeats the purpose of traveling light. Well, the proposed solution boils down to one simple yet incredibly powerful concept: 3-in-1. The Anker Cube is designed to just completely eliminate all of that cable clutter. It promises to take all 3 of those distinct charging needs and consolidate them into one single unified hub, meaning you only need one single outlet. It's an incredibly appealing idea for anyone wanting to instantly streamline their messy nightstand or their travel backpack. Okay, moving to section 1, meet the Anker Cube, features under the hood. Now, what's really interesting right off the bat is what you actually get when you open the box. You know how in this day and age, major tech companies are constantly removing charging bricks just to save a few pennies? Well, Anker goes in the exact opposite direction here. You aren't just buying the cube itself, you're getting a dedicated 30-watt USB-C wall charger and a really generously sized 5-foot or 1.5-meter USB-C to USB-C cable. So it's a true plug-and-play solution right out of the gate. You don't have to go tearing through your drawers hunting for a high-powered brick just to make the thing work properly. And here is the absolutely crucial number you need to keep in mind: 15 watts. You see, this isn't just any generic magnetic charger. This thing actually features official Apple MagSafe certification. So why does that matter to us? Because off-brand magnetic chargers are strictly throttled by Apple to a maximum of 7.5 watts. But by utilizing Apple's official approved module, this cube delivers the full 15 watts of high-speed wireless charging directly to your compatible iPhone. When you snap your phone on, you get that super satisfying official MagSafe charging animation on your screen, which is basically a guarantee that you are getting the fastest possible wireless top-up. The engineering here is honestly incredibly clever. It's kind of like a little high-tech transformer. First, you lift the top MagSafe plate, which tilts up to a 60-degree viewing angle. That is absolutely perfect for watching videos in landscape mode or for using that cool standby mode in iOS 17 on your bedside table. Second, a gentle push on the side pops out this hidden spring-loaded shelf dedicated entirely to fast charging your Apple Watch. And yeah, that includes the Ultra models too. Finally, lifting that main phone mount up reveals a hidden, dedicated 5-watt charging pad nestled right underneath, specifically for your AirPods. Let's move right along to section 2, what do customers say? The real-world test. So with an impressive 4.5 out of 5-star overall rating, it's pretty clear the vast majority of buyers are thrilled. Almost 80% of users give it a perfect 5 stars, while only a tiny 6% drop it down to a 1-star rating. Statistically speaking, this is a highly successful product. But, the true story isn't just in the star ratings. It's in what the users are actually writing about their daily hands-on experience with the Cube. When we analyze the AI-generated review sentiments, we see this really fascinating direct conflict. On one side, users are praising the compact form factor and the incredibly high-quality, solid build. But on the flip side, we see the exact trade-off for that build quality. It is heavy and it comes with a premium price tag. Literally, the very materials that make it feel sturdy and premium on your desk are the exact same materials that make it a total burden in your travel bag. And context is everything when it comes to that premium price, which is beautifully articulated by this 5-star reviewer, Charles. At roughly $130 to $150, the sticker shock is real. However, Charles does the math for us here. If you went out and bought an official Apple MagSafe cable for $39, an Apple Watch fast charger, an AirPods charger, and a 30-watt power brick straight from Apple, you would easily exceed the cost of this single unified Anker Cube. So when you view it as a bundled replacement for your entire ecosystem, that high entry price suddenly becomes way more defensible. Now, another 4-star review from Aaron points out a really practical friction point. Because the build is so solid and those MagSafe magnets are so incredibly strong, you often can't just tilt the phone screen up with one hand without literally lifting the entire block off the table. It requires a two-handed operation to open the hinge. Plus, he makes this brilliant suggestion. Adding a USB-C pass-through port on the device would make this the ultimate travel companion, because then you could plug in a non-wireless device at the exact same time. We also see users like Tony highlighting some durability and thermal concerns. While the main body feels like a literal tank, Tony points out that the pop-out Apple Watch shelf feels noticeably flimsy by comparison. This raises some realistic fears that it might be the first part to break over time. He also notes that when you are charging all three devices at the exact same time, the base of the unit, where the AirPods sit, gets considerably warm. It's a pretty vital reminder that packing this much power into a tiny cube means you have to manage a significant amount of heat. All right, Section 3, how does it compare? The Anker lineup. When you choose the Cube over other Anker alternatives, you are making very distinct trade-offs. I want you to notice that weight row at the bottom. The 3-in-1 Cube weighs in at a hefty 14.5 ounces. That is almost a full pound. Now compare that to the Anker Prime $25 travel charger, which weighs barely over 8 ounces. The Cube is nearly double the weight. So while the Cube gives you that beautiful, weighted stability that you want for a nightstand, if your primary goal is traveling as light as humanly possible, well, Anker actually makes much lighter options specifically designed for a backpack. And finally, Section 4, the final verdict, value versus convenience. 14.5 ounces of solid, all-in-one charging power. Look, the Anker Cube is an undeniably well-engineered, aesthetically pleasing hub. It brilliantly declutters your desk, it delivers those maximum 15-watt MagSafe speeds, and it comes with absolutely everything you need right in the box. But that premium metal build is a major double-edged sword. It feels incredibly premium in the hand, but it might just feel like a literal brick when you toss it into a lightweight travel bag. Which leaves us with one final question for you to ponder. Is that unified convenience truly worth the premium price and the added weight? If you are looking for a rock-solid, permanent nightstand charger that you maybe occasionally take on a road trip, the Cube is an absolute powerhouse. But if you are a minimalist backpacker who is literally counting every single ounce, you might want to look elsewhere in Anker's lineup. It really all comes down to what you value more, a beautifully heavy aesthetic for your nightstand or an ultra-light footprint for your travels. The choice is completely yours.